All right. Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our first sales meeting of May. And in case you've been under a rock for the last 72 hours, May is for mofers. And we are very excited to start off our sales meeting series this month with none other than the king of referrals himself, Mr. Stephen Schlueter. And Steve, as I tipped you off to about 90 seconds ago, we kicked these things off with a little conversation around our Y4C2Ts. And so I want to give you the opportunity this week to pick one of those that stands out to you or that's speaking to you this week or this month, and share it with our team here at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan.
It's funny. It's like a roulette wheel here. It's like, which one do I pick? They're all awesome. Whatever one I fall on, there seems to be a story. And I'm going to go with success results through people. And let me tell you why. Because, we've got crazy real estate market. I mean, our peers out there, other companies, I mean, it's tough. And, you get all these multiple offers, and I'm sure y'all are probably dealing with some of that in parts of your market. The industry is different than I've ever seen it in a 35-year real estate career. I know I don't look it, and yet, it's been 35 years. And I want to go back to how we treat each other. And that could fit in a couple of veins here. And yet I'm going to use the context of a brand new agent. So I'm one of the top agents in RE/MAX for the city. I'm one of the top 20 RE/MAX agents in the state of Texas at the time. And this agent brings me an offer on a listing, and she shows up at my office and she says, "Hey, I know you sell like a lot of real estate." And she's forthcoming enough to say, "This is my very first deal. And my buyer is my brother. And I really want this to go well for them. And so if you see me doing anything wrong or anything that could mess up the transaction, would you please let me know?" And I said, and her name was Dottie Bowers. And I said, "Dottie, let me walk you back. And I want to introduce you to my assistant, Susan." And I introduced Dottie to Susan. And I said, "Susan, this is Dottie. Her brother is buying the house at 123 Elm Street. And would you give her our buyer's checklist to help her make sure she keeps this on track for her brother? It's her first transaction. She's really excited for her brother. And I'm really excited for her to have her first transaction with us. In fact, I said, why don't you do this? Would you be Dottie's assistant for this transaction and handle the closing or the buyer side of the transaction for her?" And of course we did. And it made it a nice, smooth transaction for her brother. Dottie was with a local independent company. And then Dottie later went to Keller Williams. And here she was, a brand new agent. And then, by the way, we developed a friendship. I mentored her a little bit, gave her some resources to help her along her journey in becoming a great agent. And then when Keller Williams Austin Northwest Market Center was seeking a team leader for their market center, she gave my name to Gary Keller. And that resulted in a phone call from Mark Willis and then Gary, and ultimately me having the opportunity to start a leadership career with Keller Williams. And it all happened because how I treated a new agent doing her first transaction. And so you don't know what seeds of success you're planting with every relationship, with every encounter. Hold everybody up really high. How can you impact that person today? And somewhere you're planting a seed that's going to bear fruit in ways that you will never see in many cases. I just happened to be able to see this one. And then when I got, an opportunity to go before the ALC, when they were bringing me on as a team leader, there were other people in that room on the ALC that I had helped in other ways over the years. And so you never know, treat everybody well, success through others. You're not going to make it there by yourself.
I love that. That is such a powerful story, and one that I did not know, my friend. So thank you so much for sharing that. But as we dive in here, just to make sure, because I know I got a few texts and emails and even a FaceTime this morning asking what in God's green acre is a mofer. So that is make offer for immediate response. It's our theme for the month of May when it comes to our sales meetings, and it's about moving people into action. It's about creating opportunities to push people to the next step or invite people to the next step in your pipeline or in your funnel. And today, Steve is going to talk about how to incorporate some mofers into referrals or use mofers to generate referrals from your database or from your existing clients. So Steve, I promised the folks that I would talk as little as possible. So I'm turning it over to you.
All right, you're out of here. Go. Well, and mofers, we've been talking about mofers and never ending referrals for, gosh, I guess 8 years, 9 years. It absolutely is. We're making offers for immediate response, all the time. And offers can be in the form of marketing. They can be in the form of verbal. They can be in our communication. And if I can screen share, let's see.
Yeah, let me make you I will actually, how do I do that? Let me stop my share. We may need Carrie to step in and take charge here.
Looks like it's ready to go, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Go for it then.
Okay. So let's go in here and I'm going to walk you through, and you'll excuse me if I go kind of fast, guys. I've got a commitment near the top of the hour. And yet I want to get right into the heart of this. And we're going to talk about turning $1 into $50. And what am I really talking about? I'm talking about the return you get on relationships when you have the right messaging, you make the right offers, and more importantly, you build the right kind of value-based relationship. And in Never Ending Referrals, about 3 weeks ago, we were interviewing David Huffaker out of Middle Tennessee. And David and his team are on track to do about 300 million this year. They did 220 million last year. 47% of that came from their database. And they realized a $71 return for every $1 they spent on their mofers and their relationship with their connected contact database, not leads, their connected relationships. And so we're going to touch on that today. And of course, David had taken Never Ending Referrals years and years ago and kind of built our systems into the database side of their business. And he's taken it, plussed it to a whole mastery level. So what we're going to talk about is how do you do that? It's your 36 and 40 touch, which is going to be filled with mofers. It's your smart conversations you have on your DTD2 contacts. And we're going to talk about what I think is the ultimate mofer conversation. It's something we dig into when we talk business to business, and something we call the 5-star conversation. In fact, I'm going to give you a link here in a little bit to go download the script we're going to go through. And you'll have that. So we're going to talk really today about what are those mofers that take you to becoming somebody's trusted advisor. Now, you may or may not have seen this. Gary Keller and Jay Papasan last year at Mega Camp, we're talking about this thing called the trust triangle. And it was in a leadership conversation. And by the way, this comes from the Harvard Business Review. And in their published paper that they did on this, they said there's 3 elements to a leader establishing trust with the people they lead. And they said, number 1 is logic. And I know you can do it. Your reasoning and your judgment are sound. The second item was empathy. I feel like, and I believe that you care about me and my success. And then authenticity, they experience the real you. They don't feel like you're fakey or ingenuine. What you got to know is every human being, guys, is equipped with a BS detector. Believability scale. I know you thought I was being naughty. Believability scale. And there's a mental filter that's going on, and it's going, do I buy what they're saying? And so if we're not being authentic, we are putting out vibrations that are going to cause people to maybe not connect with what our offers might be. Now, here's what resonated for me when I heard Gary and Jay talking about this. I said, this is exactly the formula for how you build trust in a database relationship with the people in your connected contacts, your Mets. They want to know that you can do it, that you know the market, that you understand the dynamics. They absolutely, they got to feel like they don't care how much you know, you've heard it, till they know how much you care. And there's always that filter. Does this feel authentic? Is he talking to me like a human being that I've really got a connection or a flow with? And so the first thing I want you to understand about MOFers from the perspective of referrals and never-ending referrals and building a database business that'll give you a $50 to $71 return on every dollar you spend is you got to build trust. You got to go from being Steve the realtor or Michael the realtor to being Michael my realtor. And that's a big distinction in that one little thing. So let's go forward. Now, how do you build the logic side? The logic side happens in your 36 to 40 touch system. Do you have 2 direct mail pieces going out every month? And by the way, David Huffaker did, and he got a 71 to 1 return on his database. And he says, you know, direct mail works. You got to be multi-channel. You can't hit them just in one vein. You have a monthly local expert email. And are you doing your quarterly DT2 personal contacts? You do that, you've got a 40 touch system right there. And by the way, you add a neighborhood nurture smart plan on top of that, you've now got a 52 touch system, and you're touching them every week with the logic side being clearly expressed. And here's something I want you to write down. Susan Scott, Fierce Conversations, she shares with us that the conversation is the relationship. If we're really going to get in connected or in flow with people, and if we're really going to get the most out of our offers, we do have to be in relationship with it. We can get offers that get us a return. And yet the more we're in relationship, more we've got that logic established, that empathy established, that authentic connection established. And we've done that with the right conversations, the more we're going to get our MOFers acted upon, the more action they will take, the more engagement we will have with those folks. So the ultimate goal here is to create connection or flow. And you notice the different images on the dice, and what we're really talking about is, are we getting to a multi-channel way of communicating? Do I've got the direct mail, the phone call, the email, and the social, you know, all working, maybe text message. And I want to share with you a story for a second, and to really understand the impact of flow, the impact of what this will do for all of your offers. I'm driving down the interstate between Austin and San Antonio. I think it was 2017, and it's about July 9th. And I get a phone call, and on my dash, it says Barbara DeLamo, and it's a 2-1 area code, so I know it's San Antonio. And I don't know if this ever happened to any of y'all. You get a call, and the name comes up, and you're going, who the heck is that? And for me, that was Barbara. I go, Barbara, who's Barbara? And I said, she's showing up on my display. She's in my contacts. I must know her. I'll take the call. So I hit the button on my steering wheel, and I take the call. And of course, I do what we normally would do. Hi, Barbara. Not having a clue who Barbara is. Now, by the way, I've got to do Barbara in her voice. And she goes, well, hi, Steve. I go, yeah, hey, what's going on, Barbara? She goes, hey, I was calling to wish you happy birthday. And I'm going, Barbara, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. And Barbara, you're a little early. My birthday's not for another 3 weeks. And she goes, I know. I wanted to be the first one. She goes, am I the first one? I said, yeah, you sure are. And I'm still going, who the hell is Barbara? I can't place her in, you know, and then, you know, Barbara says, hey, so I was just thinking about you today. I saw you had a birthday coming up. And she goes, you know, I took bold with you, the very first bold we did in San Antonio in 2009. She said, "You still coaching Bold?" And I said, "Yeah, I sure am." And she asked me where we'd been and how that was going. And then she said, "I know when you coached it in San Antonio, that you had a girlfriend that lived in San Antonio. She sponsored one of our sessions. You guys still together?" I said, "We are." She goes, "What was her name?" And I said, "Shelly." And she goes, "Yeah, she's really cool. And in fact, I know you're originally from this area, and you'd even talked about maybe moving to San Antonio from Austin. And did you ever make the move?" I said, "Yeah, I've been in San Antonio 2.5 years." And she goes, "Gosh, I guess I was a little late on that one." And of course, my response to Barbara says, "Well, Barbara, of course, I represented myself being an agent, all." And she said, "Well, what are you loving about San Antonio?" And we had a little conversation about San Antonio. She referred me to a brunch place called Mimosas. And then she asked me, "Hey, Steve, what kind of big plans you guys have coming up here in the near future?" And we talked about a trip to Egypt, and we had a few little conversations about that. The whole conversation was 6 minutes. And after 6 minutes, a person that I couldn't identify on the dashboard went from "Who the hell is Barbara?" to me feeling completely connected with Barbara. So question, what did Barbara do in that conversation that created the connection? Anybody got it? Yeah, it's in the chat. Pete got it. She forwarded me. I hung up the phone and I said, "Damn, I got forwarded." And it was good. And there was a connection. And by the way, that's not the whole story though. After I hung up, the thing I realized is the dashboard didn't say Barbara DeLamo, it said maybe Barbara DeLamo. And if you've got an iPhone, the maybe means somewhere they're in my contact records, either an email or a text thread or something of that nature. And so when I got home, I went back and I pulled up my email. And I'm going, have I had any correspondence with Barbara? And here's what I saw. I'd been getting an email from Barbara on average about every 3 weeks for 7 years. What's the lesson, guys? Somebody chime in. What's the lesson?
Well, a 6-minute conversation made more impact on you than 7 years of emails.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here's the interesting thing. Yeah, Thomas, personal contact is everything. And you're absolutely right. I mean, that one phone call had this tremendous impact. And yet here's the interesting thing. Let me go back to the screen. So a few days later, I get another email from Barbara. What happened with that one? I opened it. And then we started, we now had her MOFers, her offers, the things that she wanted to communicate to me were now effective because we were in flow. We had a connection going. And so all we have to do to create that flow is do our DTD2. And if you're not familiar with DTD2, do the database 2. It's a process we teach in Never-Ending Referrals that we have loaned to Bold, by the way. And it's just a process of calling 2 letters by last name each week from your database. We start off with A and W, T and J is another group. And it's a process where the focus is creating connection flow. And then in your conversations, you build in offers that are appropriate, for right then. We're going to share with you an offer here in just a minute. So understanding that the conversation is the relationship is vital. And one of the conversations that you can have that is extremely effective is something we call the 5-star conversation. And the 5-star conversation is a business to business focus. And now you see this guy here scratching his head. And who is this guy? This is the guy that just moved into Cleveland, and he moved from, let's say, Detroit. and he doesn't have any resources. Everything he left behind in Detroit, doesn't have a mechanic, a plumber, no resources. He's got teenagers, so he needs an auto body repair place because they don't drive very well. I mean, he just lost all his resources. And where's he going to get those? And he could go to Angie's List, and he could go all these places. And yet, if you're the real estate agent for this person, you have the opportunity to be their trusted advisor, not just for real estate, also for all things lifestyle when they come into that community. And so one of the things I've got to build is I've got to build my network of who are those best people that I might have the opportunity to refer. And I can use their MOFers too, and their database and their network to build yet more opportunity. This is the opportunity of opportunities. And let me share how this conversation might go. In fact, Gary said this years ago from the stage. He says, why does Angie's List even exist? They shouldn't be going to Angie's List. They should be going to you. And you're going, Steve, I didn't get in this business to be a concierge. And yet think about the beauty. If people come to you with their needs, their buy-sell cycle is 8 to 10 years. And they're not going to do anything for 8 to 10 years. And so how do I keep adding value to their life? How do I build context for potential conversations? And that's meeting them where they are in that middle space when they have different kinds of needs. And because you care for them, they give you their referrals. They trust you. You've got this relationship of being dependable and reliable. So let me go through the 5-star conversation with you. And I'm just going to model it for you real quick. And then we'll kind of wrap up. Now, this thing's full of MOFers. And by the way, what we teach in Never Ending Referrals is when I make a call to my database, I'm going to sandwich the conversation or the script, if you will, into a forward conversation. It doesn't mean I'm going to go through all 4 letters: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And yet I might start off with, if I'm calling Michael, and I call Michael and, hey, Michael, Steve Schlueter over at Keller Williams. Hey, trust you're doing well. Hey, I had a little project I'm working on that could really use your help. And before I get into that, though, tell me, how are things going at the world of work post-COVID? Are you still working from home? You finally going into the office? Tell me what's new. And Michael tells me what's new with work. Yeah. And I said, and then whatever he says, I ask an appropriate follow-up question. Then I might ask another forward question. I might say, hey, by the way, I saw on Facebook that you guys took a trip to Nashville here a couple of weeks ago. And great, did I see you at the Grand Ole Opry? And he goes, yeah. I said, wow, who was the favorite person you saw? And we have a brief conversation about his experience at the Grand Ole Opry. And then I said, well, hey, Michael, let me tell you why I called today. I could really use your help. We're working on a special project for our friends and clients. And we're building a directory of what we call 5-star service providers, people that we've kind of vetted out through our network that are come recommended from our people that do really great work. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll share with you here in a few weeks how to access it once we have it put together. It's our project for the quarter. And Michael, I'm just curious, who's really blown you away in the last couple of months, any kind of service or business that you just had a stellar experience with? And let's say Michael says, well, we just had a bunch of landscaping done and they did a fabulous job. In fact, they were so neat about it and all the plants are healthy and are thriving. And I said, well, wow, it sounds amazing. What's the name of the company? And he says, 3 Trees Landscaping. I said, wonderful. I'd love to include them in our directory. They sound like the persons that would be just the right additions for our network. Curious, do you have a contact at 3 Trees Landscaping I could reach out to? And he tells me Tim, and he gives me Tim's phone number. And I say, Michael, thank you so much for helping me with that. I really appreciate it. And I'll reach out to him. And by the way, when I do, is it okay if I let him know that you kind of connected us? Would that be okay? And Michael's going to say yes, because I'm going to create some goodwill there for Michael with Tim and 3 Trees Landscaping. And then I switch it a little bit and I go, well, Michael, maybe there's another introduction you can help me with. And one of the things that we've got asked for, quite a bit in the last, in the month of April and March was a good CPA for tax preparation. And honestly, we don't really have a 5-star CPA. I'm kind of seeking. Do you happen to have an introduction you can give me in that space? And let's say Michael says, no, I wish, not really. And I say, well, Michael, I know in our network, I'm going to find that person. When I do, would you like me to connect you? And Michael says, well, yeah, that'd be great. Now I'm going to continue to call through my database, and eventually I'm going to find a 5-star CPA that I can connect Michael with. So I finished up the conversation. I said, well, hey, Michael, thanks so much for taking time to help me with this little project today. I'll let you know how to access it here as we get further down the road. Hey, before I let you go, I guess, public service announcement for all my clients and friends is, have you looked at your insurance coverage right now? Home prices have gone up dramatically. And if you haven't had a insurance checkup here in the last couple of years, really encouraging folks to get an update on your property valuation as it compares to your insurance coverage. We've seen so much appreciation on it. Hate for you to find at the wrong time that you're underinsured. Have y'all checked that out? He says, yes, no, doesn't matter. And I said, and by the way, so if you need any resources to do that, you need a property value update. In fact, I did pull a few things before I called. I'm going to send you the 3 latest sales in your neighborhood and email. Is this still the best email? Perfect. And then I'll say, so, hey, Michael, before we wrap up, thanks again for helping me. I'll work on that CPA connection for you. And before I let you go, tell me what big plans you guys have for the summer. And Michael's going to tell me his plans. I ask an appropriate follow-up question. We wrap up the call. The whole call will be 6 or 7 minutes tops. And where were the MOFers? So what were the MOFers? The offers.
Well, the one at the end was the property valuation.
Property valuation. Mm-hmm.
Follow up for the CPA.
Yeah.
Like you can even count like the goodwill build or letting 3 trees know that you're the one I'm the one that sent them.
Yeah. All that. There's all kinds of MOFers in there. I'm building a directory for you. It's not, and that's something that is an offer. And, and we're telling you how to get it. Now think about this though. I'm going to keep calling in my directory. And even when I get a CPA, I'm going to keep asking about CPA until I probably have 3. Because I'm not just looking for CPAs. I'm also looking for people that have a need for a CPA. And I might have 15 people that say they would love an introduction to a great CPA. And I have 3 CPAs. What have I got now when I meet with the CPA? I got referrals in hand for that new relationship. And where is that going to go? So by the way, I'm putting in the chat right now a link to download the 5-star conversation right there. And, in Never Ending Referrals, we get into obviously, all the conversations you have with the business people, how you really develop that. What I would encourage you to do, if you find these kind of conversations and strategies helpful, come check us out at neverendingreferrals.com. You can be part of our community. $39 a month to be part of our Never Ending Referrals community. We have 3 live webinars and 3 interviews each week on Mondays. And we go through the 8 lessons on Never Ending Referrals, along with, we have a tech session on first Monday of the month, and then 2 expert interviews on the second and third Mondays of the month. So check us out at neverendingreferrals.com if you find this kind of thing helpful. Michael, I do have to go to another room and go jump in. I do want to hear a couple of ahas real quick, because I want to feel a little energy back from you guys here real quick. So give me an aha or 3.
Let's help Steve out, guys. What do you got?
Hit that unmute button and chime in.
My aha is you need to get on the phone, pick up the phone, make phone calls.
Yeah. The conversation is the relationship. That'll get your MOFers working.
Tom Seaman says, always add value within the conversation, right? And I think it's, you said it very, very well, Steve. Be intentional about what value you're going to bring to that conversation. Don't just talk to talk.
You got it. All right, guys, I've got to run. Michael, thank you for the opportunity, guys. Y'all have a great week ahead, and hope to see you soon.
Steve, thank you so much, my friend. We will follow up. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, gang, we're going to dive right back into our sales meeting. Since we're doing a little bit in reverse today, we're going to take this middle part to chat with our partners. So I saw Don Jarecki. I'm looking at Chris Bullock, and there's Sean Hadley. Let's throw it over to the three musketeers of mortgage.
Good morning, everybody. So just a couple of things to touch on today. The Federal Reserve Board starts their meeting today. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 2:15, they'll announce very likely that they're raising the federal funds rate by 0.5%. Don't panic. That's the message take away from this. This is expected for weeks, maybe even months. We've known that this adjustment would be coming. The press conference might, sort of lead on to certainly the conversation that the Fed is having, but also what's going to happen in meetings to come. And yes, there will be more rate adjustments. But I guess my message to, the general public, if I'm a realtor or have a buyer asking about interest rates, is, hey, we feel a bit of a sting. Rates have gone up 2.5% since December. That's historic. We like to think that, we've already kind of felt the brunt of what's going on, and we may see rates stabilize. But that remains to be seen. So we'll have certainly more news week to week as we kind of work through this. But that's what's going on right now. And the other topic for today is a second opinion. Second opinion never hurts a customer. You have a buyer who already has a pre-approval. I'll give you just two examples that I ran into, and I'm sure Don and Chris have these all day long. But had a buyer who was pre-approved for a $120,000 house. Couldn't find anything there. They wanted to get into the 150s. Reluctantly, they finally gave me a call. Our debt ratio tolerations were a little higher than the other lender. The other lender was counting a car payment that her daughter, who had co-signed, had paid for. And we, within minutes, were able to get her pre-approved for $180,000 sale price. She wrote an offer this weekend, and we'll see if she got that accepted. But that is obviously a happy ending with the pre-qualification. And whether it's interest rates, whether it's price points, qualifications, comfort, we're always happy to provide a second opinion. And if someone's we're not improving someone's situation, no harm done, but it never hurts. DJ?
Yeah, I'd agree with Sean in the second opinion. It never hurts to put another set of eyes on the transaction. I think I can speak for the three of us here that if somebody's getting a good deal and getting a better deal elsewhere, we're gonna let them know that. But if we can find a way to put them in a better position, using their assets the right way instead of just dumping it all into the house, we're also going to do that well to help them get the best payment possible and best position possible with the new mortgage they have coming up here. And then end of the day headline yesterday, I don't know if Sean wants me to mention this, but on our national finance sites, it says interest rates have officially topped 5.5%. So it's real, it's here. 3s, 4s are gone. So 5.5% official. That's where rates are today.
Good information for, oh, hey, I just saw Chris on mute. Chris, didn't mean to steal your thunder, brother.
No, I'm agreeing with these two gentlemen. That's all. Nothing to add. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that, we hear every month from our broker, Andrew Ginter, about how important it is to set clear expectations with your clients. And, Don, that point is a good one. And look, 5.5 is, historically a fantastic rate. It just doesn't feel that way because it hasn't been there since 2018, probably. But guess what? People bought a lot of houses in 2018, almost as many as they bought in 2021, if you can believe it. All right, throwing it over to our team at Title.
Good morning, everyone.
Sneak peek of the Tuesday title tip here from Jade Tishka.
Good morning, everyone. So today I am going to be discussing dower a little bit and what that means for buyers and sellers. So for those of you who don't know, Ohio is a dower state, which means that when you are married, what is 50% of yours is 50% of theirs. So let's say you have a seller and they were not married on when they bought the property, but now that they are married, regardless if their spouse is on title, the spouse will have to sign off on the deed to release their dower interest. So that basically means just acknowledging that they are selling the property and they are, acknowledging that they are giving up 50% of their interest in it. For the buyers, if they are using a lender and they are married, regardless if both parties are going on title and the mortgage, the spouse will have to sign off on some dower documents for the mortgage, pretty much acknowledging that they are, in fact, taking debt out between the both of them. The only case that dower really doesn't matter is if a buyer is buying a property with cash. So that is the only case that a significant other will not have to sign off on that if they are legally married. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jade. Over to Miss Gina Legeza. Gina, we missed you last week. Welcome back to the party. What do you got for us?
Good morning. I've had my 2 cups of coffee. I am pumped. Good to see everybody. Getting a lot of calls about putting warranty on the deal after the fact and after it's closed. Can you do it? Yes. You have 7 days after a client has closed to put a home warranty on. This is really crucial in this market, Michael. 87% of homeowners are walking around from 2021 with no home warranty. What this means for you is no way of knowing what happens to them after the fact. They're having out-of-pocket expenditures. Your referral tree is absolutely broken if something should happen and they're unhappy, and we could have put a home warranty on it. So you do have 7 days. You want to make sure that you get the paperwork to me. They will pay $175 more if you don't do this and they want the home warranty. So make sure that they get the real estate pricing. And I'm sure Sean and Don would agree, you can write a clean deal. I had an agent from our office call me yesterday. You can leave the warranty out of it. You don't have to tell the title company. There's a warranty that the buyer's going to pay for. So they can have a clean deal and make sure that they're protected and your referral tree is protected. So 7 days. Yes, don't be one of the statistics of over 87% of people not having a warranty this year. Protect your client, protect the biggest investment of their life, and protect your referral tree. That's what I got for you guys today. Have a great week, everybody.
Love that tie-in. Love that tie-in. And what a great mofer that is for everybody that we sold to in the last 24 months. All right, throwing it over to Miss Jessica Ivins, Mrs. Jessica Ivins with Greater Metropolitan Management. Good morning, Jess.
Hey, Mike. Good morning. Hi, everybody. I'll be short and sweet here. We put together that FAQ for the lead paint program. A lot of you reached out to me about that, and I sent you all the PDF. So if anybody still is missing that or wants a copy, reach out to me. And to piggyback off of the awesome speaker that we had this morning, he quoted Susan Scott, who is the author of Fierce Conversations. And as a matter of fact, I'll be teaching a class on that book this Friday. So if you enjoyed the conversation that we had this morning, please join me on Friday, and we'll definitely be talking a lot about similar things that she speaks about in that book. So I think you'll enjoy it.
I love that tie-in, and I know several members of our leadership team, and you know, it's a huge favorite throughout the Keller Williams ecosystem. So very much looking forward to that session on Friday at 11 a.m. via Zoom.
I'll see you guys there. Can't wait.
There. All right, guys. Well, let's barrel towards the bottom of the hour with some happies here. Congratulations to all of our April cappers. Lots and lots of success in the month of April for a lot of our agents, folks capping faster than they have in the past, and want to give a real serious shout out to a couple first-time cappers. First, Mike Mitchell and Tom Newts hitting that max for the first time with Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and also Paul King of the Golden Group capping for the first time himself as well. So congratulations to everyone, and a special congrats to our first time cappers. And we've got some birthdays in May. I suppose we have them in every month, but since we're in May, we'll celebrate the ones that are in May, right? So happy birthday to all of these wonderful individuals, and a special shout out to Gail Grau, whose birthday is today. So happy birthday, Gail. And then happy Caliversary to our all of our folks who are kicking off another year of business bliss with our organization. Could not be more thrilled to be in business with all of you, and look forward to having this be your most successful year yet. All right, guys, let's talk about our upcoming trainings. As you have been inundated with, May is for Mofers. And so every week this month, we are going to be talking about Mofers and creating some level of urgency or opportunity for everybody you speak with, right? With the tightness of the market and the challenges that come from that, we cannot have enough leads. We cannot have enough opportunities. We cannot have enough in our pipeline. And so the way to move it all forward is with a strong Mofer. Steve just gave us one of the most powerful ones that should be the easiest to do. We're coming from contribution 100% of the time. Tomorrow in Rocky River, all of our friends in River, we have a 1-hour elective CE. We did one on surveys last week here on the east side, and on the west side tomorrow at noon. You will have the opportunity for 1 hour of elective CE through Win Home Inspections. And so it's real simple. If you're in productivity coaching, show up to your coaching program at 11, stay for the CE at 12. And if you are not in coaching, just show up at 12, pick up an hour of CE, and have one less thing to worry about. Special thank you to Dina Hernandez for helping us organize that opportunity. On Thursday in River, Cinco de Mayo is getting better than you could have even imagined, because Wesley Croft, our productivity coach on the west side, is going to be leading a conversation about navigating the transaction. So we did this last month in Pepper Pike with Eric and our partners from Cross Country, GM Title, and America's Preferred Home Warranty. And this is a great session. I don't care if you've done no transactions or you've done a dozen transactions. This is a class where you can start to identify opportunities for stronger systems. If you're on the I've done a lot of transaction side of things, and if you haven't done any transactions, this is going to help you build confidence around knowing what's next and knowing how to use your partners, right? This is a lot of times real estate is billed as an individual sport, but here's the thing. You've got a team in your coach, your mortgage company, your title company, and your warranty company. And then, as Jess mentioned, Friday, 11 a.m. via Zoom, she will be breaking down all of her top takeaways from a bestseller called Fierce Conversations. And I want you to know that it's not about the book, guys. It's about applying the takeaways from the book. And I want to be clear, you don't have to have read the book. So show up and learn how to integrate more into your conversations to be more impactful with everyone that you have. So big thank you to Jess from Greater Metropolitan Management for leading that conversation and helping us out. And then, who do you know who needs to be in the room? Guys, we've been having a ton of fun and some really, really outstanding attendance at and participation at our career nights. So we have 2 in the month of May, just as we have for the last several months. And so next Monday, the 9th, will be in Pepper Pike. And on 5/23, we will be back in Rocky River. We have had some tremendous attendance and support from our agents through referrals. So thank you all. Here's my mofer. Invite a friend, show up to career night, and I promise you at least 2 audible belly laughs from my jokes. That's my mofer for you on attending career nights. Now, seriously, it has been a ton of fun to get a ton of support, and also to have agents in the room to validate for those individuals who are considering a career in real estate that everything that we say glitters actually does. And then the big one, guys, one of our largest, arguably our largest event of the year, right? The only thing that rivals this is maybe the clam bake. We get more engagement, involvement, participation, and have more fun on Red Day. More fun than you're going to have without breaking the law most of the time. So really excited for Red Day this year. We've got more people engaged, more sites, and we have a very awesome post Red Day happy hour for everyone who pulls a shift, pulls some weeds, does some yard work, and throughout the city at one of the sites is going to be welcome to join us at Masthead Brewing from 3 to 5 and run up a tab for Sean Hadley and make him, make his kids go to, I don't know, maybe we're going to just knock them out of going to college altogether if we really do it right, guys. But no, we're going to have a ton of fun. Red Day, for those of you who missed our meeting a couple weeks ago, focused on it, is an international day of service for Keller Williams. We shut down the office. Everybody goes out into the community, does service. We've organized, I think, 8 different sites where you can go and plug in and give back to the community. That's the game here. RED stands for renew, energize, and donate. It's a refreshing, renewing, energizing experience. We give of our time, but guys, let's make no mistake. Altruism really isn't a thing, is it? And when you do this, I promise you're going to go out there. You're going to make a friend. You're going to make a connection with another agent. You're going to have a story to tell. You're going to build a relationship, and you're really going to be happy that you did it. So the link is in the chat. It is Friday, May 12th. Sites have various times, so make sure you check out when you're picking your site, when you need to be there, what your shift is. But please sign up. We're very much looking forward to our largest Red Day yet. And then finally, one of our big events for the month of May, we have the absolutely amazing, indomitable Cynthia Lammert, who is going to be leading a 3-hour core law CE for our office. We're hosting that at the Cleveland Racquet Club right next door to the Pepper Pike office. It is going to be a great event. If you know Cindy, she is the foremost authority on real estate law in Ohio, period, the end. She is the best. And so to the extent that, you've got to get this core law continuing education, there's nobody better to get it from. And she is a wonderful, wonderful presenter and big friend of Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. Guys, that's all she wrote for this week. Join us back here next Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. for our next MOFR session, where we'll be talking about circle prospecting and leveraging one opportunity into several through MOFRs. Go forth and conquer, my friends. Have a great week. Have a great start to May, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much.